Today we have an interesting guest. His name is Hanu. He's the CEO of My Patricia exchange. Patricia is one of the exchanges on the African continent that all of us are quite aware of. Also one of the leading exchanges in Nigeria.
Hi, thank you for having me, David.
Thank you for being with us today. Maybe Hanu, I can start by, asking you to introduce yourself. Tell us your crypto journey and how you got started with My Patricia.
My name is Hanu, Fejiro Hanu Agboje. I'm the founder and CEO of Patricia. Patricia is about 5 years this year. I've been doing this since 2017, and it was a very interesting journey. I stumbled upon cryptocurrency. It was not the intent. I actually started Patricia as a platform to exchange gift cards, but along the line, we ended up noticing our customers were asking us for this thing called Bitcoin. They want to buy it, they want to sell it. And we basically did what we do best. We listened to the customers, and that led us to cryptocurrency. And it was quite interesting because for the first 4, 5, 6 times I tried to get my hands on Bitcoin, I got scammed, and it made me realize that if people are getting scammed, if I was getting scammed, more people around Nigeria were getting scammed. And at the time, there was no platform doing this. There was nobody doing this mainstream. It was just people in silos. So that was the opportunity for us. And Patricia was Bitcoin became one of our product offerings. Over the months, switched on to years, we saw Bitcoin overtake gift card and even become the major livelihood of the company. And that was how we went all out, and Patricia rebranded as a crypto company in 2018 fully. And since then, it's been really amazing. We've been doing incredible things. For us, we like to ask ourselves, what great ideas nobody currently building? And that's how we built Patricia. From a team of 2 to a team of over 100 people. We are 100% bootstrapped. Just last year, we did hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars in transaction volume. And it's been very interesting to see how far we've come. And I couldn't be more proud of myself and be more proud of the team for making it happen.
Awesome. It's always nice to hear, experiences like that, especially in the space where companies like Patricia, you can actually build a business organically like that based on the need. I know that you've been in the market for 5 years. What would you say differentiates Patricia from other exchanges? Maybe you can tell us some of the features and products of Patricia.
Okay, well, very interesting question. So at Patricia, we like to see ourselves as the bridge between traditional finance and the blockchain. We believe that the blockchain is the future, crypto is the future, but we also understand that there's going to be a long transitional phase before blockchain is accepted mainstream. So in the interim, what do we do? And that is the problem that we are here to solve, to be that bridge that connects traditional finance to the blockchain. And we saw that in 2019 when we launched Africa's first ever crypto debit card. And that was an instant hit because people could now relate to cryptocurrency. Now this is 2022 and things are more, people are more aware. When 2019, Bitcoin was almost still it was something that was almost seen with a frown or with some form of shade, and when we introduced the debit card, people could now reconcile it in their heads. You can now go to an ATM and withdraw money backed by your crypto assets. It has never been done in the continent before. You see mothers using crypto to shop in restaurants, just for your day-to-day activities. When we launched the card, we got 13,000 signups in less than 6 hours. The demand was super enormous for the card. Then we took it a step further and we asked ourselves, what great ideas nobody currently building? You see, every single day, Africans and Nigerians, we buy airtime, we pay for data, we pay for electricity, we pay for our JAM, our WAEC, our DSTV, our cable subscriptions. How do we do it? Most times through our banking applications, right? So what we did at Patricia was we then brought all of these daily activities and we brought it into Patricia. So you can now pay for your electricity with crypto. You can now buy airtime. You can now buy gift cards with crypto. And all of this just brought about more adoption and more adoption and more adoption. So a regular person can use crypto not just as a means of remittance or as a means to store value, but there's also real life daily use cases wrapped around cryptocurrencies. And that is what highly distinguishes us from every other person in the market.
All right. I mean, you talk about use cases. So would you say a lot of the people who use Patricia largely use it, to pay their bills and services, like you mentioned, or do they mostly, use Patricia for trading, buying and selling to make some profit?
So now it's a diverse crowd, right? We have a set of people who use crypto as a means of trading, remittances. We have people who use Patricia to just buy airtime. Students use us a lot to buy airtime because we give a 2% cashback on any money spent buying all of these services. So instead of going to their regular bank or whoever, they come to us and cashback. And for a student, it means a lot.
Okay, now, Patricia has obviously been successful, like you mentioned. You're moving millions of dollars. Now, when you look at, when you zero in to say, and I'm talking about this since last year, we know what happened with the Central Bank of Nigeria. They came up with they literally, banned crypto in Nigeria. How did that affect the market, and how did that affect Patricia and your business as a whole?
Well, I think those were one of the darkest moments as an entrepreneur, because we had already gotten the year strategy down. We were already on our way to $1 billion monthly transaction volume. We were literally a few months away from that, and CBN happened. So it was a huge shock because we had to re-strategize. There was so much panic around users who wanted to use the app as they used to, even if they were aware that the CBN banned it, they were not so forgiving or so accepting. So we had tons and tons and tons of complaints, backlash. It was a very messy after the CBN ban, but what I realized was crypto is not bounded by geography. Crypto is not bounded by geography, and it is left to us to do the most. It is left to us to build around these that is supposed to be a stumbling block and come up stronger and come out way better. And that's exactly what we did. We moved our operations to Estonia. We got a crypto license in Estonia, and because now we can service the entire European countries, 27 of them. Right, we have rails, we have a license, and we are now even more legitimate than ever. So with CBN not happening, I really don't see all of that conversations coming out. We have plans of entering the US and the UK now. Our OTC DEX is doing really fantastic in multiple countries. So all of these were the backlash of CBN. So I'd say it was a setup for success. It didn't make so much sense, but like Steve Jobs always says, you can only connect the dots looking backwards. And looking backwards now, it's almost a year now. I'd say it was a wonderful thing to happen to us the way it happened to us.
All right. So would you say because of the ban, then it actually diversified your business now?
100%.
Clients are now actually more spread out.
100%.
I'm aware that you're still operational in Nigeria, right? Despite that, yeah. Last year, I think we saw Patricia even sponsoring BB Niger, which was a big deal. I mean, maybe you can tell us about that, what made you do that, and how that also further fueled or, grew Patricia.
Well, it was a very dicey time because CBN happened. They expected us to keep our mouths shut and not do anything and just run away. But Patricia, if there's something we know how to do, we know how to do the most. We know how to do mighty things. And we thought about it. What other way to gain from? Because we saw it this way, right? The market is in pandemonium. Everybody is crying. Everybody is running away. And we've been able to figure out our systems, and it works, right? So what better time to get the market than now? Right, so we played our joker. and we got on Big Brother Nigeria, and it was fantastic. You know, I don't know when you first heard about us, but Big Brother played a very pivotal role in our growth, in our existence. Right now I'm in random African countries, not even wearing my Patricia hoodie, but I can be spotted out as the CEO of Patricia, and they know Patricia, and they ask me, oh, when Patricia coming to Uganda or Cameroon or Tunisia, you know, and all the effect of people in Nigeria. So it was a good move, expensive, but
all right, yeah. I mean, personally, I think I actually started writing about Patricia after BB Niger. I think that's why now I now, get more about Patricia as an exchange, actually a big exchange, and what you guys were doing. So I have to say, I think that was quite a smart move, on the part of Patricia. 2021 came. Obviously, it was a big year for crypto. You know, everything was blowing up. Maybe you can share with us, some of the numbers and the metrics. How was 2021 for you? Everybody, was happy with the market despite what's happening, right? Maybe you can share with us, how was 2021 for Patricia?
Well, it was a very wonderful year still. You know, we grew to over 800,000 users in 2021, right? We crossed our milestone still. You know, we expected a whole lot more, but we had a couple of lags for a couple of months. So I don't like to go into the metrics as such, right? But 2021 was a very, very good year for us. I think we learned more in 2021 than we learned in every other year combined. The market is still very young, it's still very right. As a matter of fact, 3 years from now, it's still going to be a very young market, you know, so it's very interesting for us to see what's possible, to understand where the market is going, especially for the African continent, and how we can impact it, you know. So right now, we are more focused on growing the market, you know. We don't really see people as competition. Right now, we want the pie to get larger before we focus on who has the largest share of the pie, right? And that's what we're focused on. 2021 was a wonderful time for us.
Any new features you launched for Patricia, or any updates that excited people or the users?
We have a whole lot coming on. So 2021, we literally had to stall on new updates for a long time because we had to rebuild our systems to accommodate the ban. But 2022, we're coming on in full throttle. We are building a project that has the order book's matching speed is times 10 faster than that of Binance. So we have something really amazing for the African continent. We're bringing in DeFi simplest form, like we say, crypto made easy. We're bringing in DeFi in the most simplest form. ENS, like you just name it, right? We are packaging the whole of DeFi and giving it to you easy, that even a dummy, even a 4-year-old can use it and can utilize it. For expansion, we're thinking Africa. We're thinking African domination. Like I said, also crypto is not bounded by geography. So we can actually do the most around it. We can actually do the absolute most, and that's what we're here to do. I like to keep these things as a surprise. So when it comes out, our users would understand what I'm talking about. But just the same way Wizkid said his album was going to be the best, the new Patricia is going to be the best.
I mean, but at least you can give us some snippets on maybe where are you guys launching next? Are you launching in Kenya soon? When can we expect?
Launching in Kenya soon. As a matter of fact, you said you know our rep in Kenya, so that's a sign, right? So we're definitely coming to your borders next, and when I'm in Kenya, I will make sure to reach out. We're launching in Kenya in a few weeks. Our neighboring countries like Ghana, South Africa, who knows? We'll see.
Looking forward to that, Hanu. Now, as we close this interview, I always like to ask my guests one question.
Yeah.
And it's always about Africa. As you've built a successful exchange, what advice would you give to other entrepreneurs, builders in the space, especially in Africa, who are also trying to build products and solutions in the space?
Do the most, really. Do the most. And I'll say do the most because my situation is very interesting, right? I started off Patricia at a point where I did not know anything, literally. I was not a technical founder. I couldn't write a line of code. All I knew was I wanted to make this successful. And every single day, I showed up for 2 years straight before it began to make sense. Patricia is what, 5 years in August? And you just heard about us last year. I've been doing it for 4 years before you heard about Patricia, right? So it's do the most. Start with where you are. You don't need to see the full road. Go as far as you can. When you get there, you will see more. You know, every other day I get people sending me DMs and all of that, asking how do I start? How do you start is how you start. There is no blueprint to success. If you bring 10 successful people, right, they will all tell you 10 different things, right? Even though some may be similar, but it comes down to trusting yourself, trusting your gut, and just do the most, put your best foot forward and just go. And even if you fail, you don't really fail, really, because even if you fail, you learn lessons, right? And you learn what not to do the next time, and you fail forward. So to everybody coming up in any field, crypto, music, NFTs, whatever your passion is, whatever you want to do, right? You have to just start from somewhere. And you know, like you see people and say, oh, I'm 30, I can't do this, or oh, I'm 19, I can't do this. Like, the world is not black and white. You know, it's not either this nor that. Mark Zuckerberg was a billionaire at 23. Jeff Bezos started his business when he was in his 30s, right? So there is no black and white. You have to just put your best foot forward, keep going, and just keep going. How long do you try? You try until.
Wow. Okay. That's some sage advice there, Hanu. So thank you. Thank you for closing this interview in really well. We can't wait to talk with you again, hopefully later in the year when Patricia now is even bigger and across many other countries. But again, thank you so much, Hanu, for your time.
Thank you for having me, and good job with what you're doing. I follow you, I see what you do, and keep doing it. Keep putting crypto on the map, keep putting Africa on the map. We love it. We love to see it. Well done, David.
All right. Thank you, Hanu, as well. Thank you for those words as well.